Beloved one, hear and receive this urgent divine message with a heart open to truth, for this is not coincidence, nor chance, nor imagination, but a heavenly decree unfolding in your life at this very hour. Archangel Michael comes forth delivering a sealed letter, written in the courts of heaven, stamped with the authority of the Most High, containing your hidden inheritance tied directly to your destiny. This inheritance is not merely of material wealth or fleeting possessions, but of justice, restoration, healing, breakthrough, and divine alignment that has been preserved through ages of trial and fire. Forces of envy, deception, and opposition attempted to veil this revelation, but the seal is now breaking and the truth of who you are and what belongs to you is being unveiled without delay. Signs and confirmations will begin to appear as heaven orchestrates encounters that are beyond human manipulation, repeating numbers catching your attention, vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life, unexpected calls or meetings that shift your path, and divine encounters that cannot be dismissed as ordinary coincidences. These signs are not random. They are heavenly markers designed to prepare you, to comfort you, and to confirm that the path you are stepping into is ordained and protected. Doors that were once sealed shut will swing open without struggle, and opportunities that seemed long dead will suddenly arise. Your inheritance may even flow through unexpected people or unlikely channels, proving that it is not man but God who directs the flow of blessing and purpose. As this destiny unfolds, you will notice the spiritual atmosphere around you shifting tangibly, clarity replacing confusion, peace swallowing fear, strength rising where weakness once prevailed, because heaven is declaring that the time has come for fulfillment. And though delays have come in your journey, though battles have tested your endurance, understand this truth. The timing is perfect because you are now fully prepared, refined through fire, and matured in faith. What felt like punishment was preparation, for the refining process has stripped away what could not stand in your next season. Every tear, every disappointment, every waiting season was not wasted but has forged in you a resilience and strength necessary for the weight of the inheritance you are now appointed to carry. The divine clock has struck the appointed hour, and the eternal inheritance that is eternal, powerful, and sealed by God's authority is being released in your life. But hear this: hesitation, unbelief, or doubt can risk missing the flow of what heaven is pouring forth, for you have been chosen, marked, and anointed as a steward of this blessing, not for selfish gain but for kingdom purpose. And because of this destiny, intense spiritual warfare has sought to distract you, delay you, and cloud your vision. The enemy has launched repeated attempts, sending confusion, betrayal, and opposition to shake your faith. But know this: divine protection has encircled you the entire time. Every blow that was meant to destroy you was intercepted, and every delay that was meant to break you was turned into a shield preserving your inheritance for this very moment. Archangel Michael's sword has been cutting through the fog, dismantling spiritual obstacles, and ensuring that no demonic force can block what heaven has decreed. Spiritual battles have raged, but they were not in vain. They were the price of guarding a treasure of immense value, a treasure that is your divine inheritance. This inheritance is secured not by man's decision, not by earthly authority, but by decree from the heavenly courts. Therefore, it cannot be stolen, blocked, or annulled. And now comes the restoration and breakthrough that heaven has promised. Everything that was stolen, whether time, joy, relationships, honor, peace, or opportunities, will be restored with interest, for the divine law of recompense is now active on your behalf. This is not just a season of subtle blessings but a marked turning point, a divine turnaround, where what was lost will be found, where what was broken will be mended, and where what was forgotten will be remembered. You are entering a season where the first shall be last and the last shall be first, where heaven exalts the humble and grants victory to those who endured faithfully. The breakthrough will not be delayed. It is immediate and irreversible, flooding your life with favor, provision, healing, and supernatural momentum. The legacy being unlocked will impact not only your personal destiny but also ripple outward, blessing generations to come and shifting the course of your bloodline by breaking generational curses and cycles of lack, defeat, and despair. This inheritance carries with it a mantle of influence and responsibility that ensures your impact is not momentary but eternal. What is being released is far greater than what you imagined, for heaven has preserved abundance beyond your comprehension. The time of waiting and mourning is ending, and a new season of laughter, joy, and divine abundance is beginning. Even now, the heavenly scroll is being unsealed before you, and the words written long ago concerning your life are coming to pass. Trust the process, yield to the flow, and open your heart fully, for what is unfolding cannot be stopped, cannot be delayed further, and cannot be diminished. This is your moment to step into the fullness of destiny, to walk in the inheritance secured for you, and to experience the manifestation of promises long awaited. Take courage, for heaven is with you, Archangel Michael stands beside you, and your inheritance is now being revealed in power and glory. Beloved one, as the unfolding continues, understand that the inheritance you are stepping into is not just about receiving blessings but also about transformation, empowerment, and alignment with the eternal blueprint written over your life from the beginning of time. Every hidden seed planted in your spirit, every dormant gift, every unfulfilled dream that seemed buried beneath years of delay is now awakening by divine command. This awakening is not partial, it is total, for heaven does not release fragments but the fullness of what has been ordained. You are rising into the stature of who you were always meant to be, and this rising will shake atmospheres, change environments, and shift the course of your journey from struggle into flourishing. Archangel Michael declares that the mantle upon your life is heavy with purpose, and that mantle is now being clothed upon you visibly, marking you as one who carries divine authority. You may feel the weight of responsibility increasing, but it is not a burden. It is an empowerment, a holy fire enabling you to stand where others fell, to speak where silence was once imposed, and to move where doors were previously locked. The signs of heaven will continue to multiply, confirming each step you take, reminding you that you are not walking alone but under divine supervision. Encounters will come in unusual ways, through strangers with messages you need to hear, through scriptures or words that leap off the page into your heart, through visions that clarify your next move, and all of it will interlock like pieces of a puzzle, proving that the orchestration is divine. You will notice that old fears are breaking, old doubts are dissolving, and where you once felt unsure, a boldness will rise because the Spirit of God is strengthening your inner man. The delays of the past were never rejection, they were preservation, for had the inheritance come earlier, you may not have had the maturity or spiritual fortitude to carry it well. Now, however, you stand refined like gold purified by fire, tested and proven, capable of walking with wisdom into the greatness prepared for you. Do not look back with regret, for nothing was wasted. Every closed door protected you, every disappointment redirected you, and every wilderness season taught you resilience that now becomes your advantage. You will see that what was withheld temporarily is being released in fullness, greater than you imagined. And as you step forward, remember that spiritual warfare will not vanish completely, for the enemy despises restoration and breakthrough, but his power is broken, his authority stripped, and his attempts futile. Archangel Michael assures you that his sword remains active on your behalf, cutting away hindrances, silencing the accuser, and clearing the path so that your destiny unfolds unhindered. You are being surrounded by a hedge of protection that no scheme can penetrate. Even betrayals from the past, even wounds inflicted by those you trusted, will now be healed and redeemed, for those were tools used to shape your discernment and deepen your dependence on God. The enemy thought delay would destroy you, but heaven turned delay into discipline, shaping your faith into unshakable strength. And now as restoration pours forth, it will not be in trickles but in waves. Relationships will be restored, resources will flow, and honor will return where shame once covered. What you lost will come back multiplied, for heaven does not return measure for measure but pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. This is why you must embrace the season without hesitation, knowing that every breakthrough you receive is not just for you but for many connected to your destiny. Generational curses are breaking in this hour, patterns of lack, cycles of sickness, bonds of fear that ran through your family line are ending with you, because you are appointed to be the one who changes the story for those who come after. The inheritance you carry is generational, ensuring that your children and your children's children walk in freedom and abundance rather than bondage and lack. This is the ripple effect of your obedience. What you step into now creates a pathway for many others to follow. Your victory becomes their inheritance. Your breakthrough becomes their launching pad. This is why the weight of the mantle is sacred, because it is not about you alone but about the countless lives linked to your yes. Do not underestimate what is unfolding, for heaven sees the generations it will impact, and the courts of heaven are rejoicing as this moment comes to pass. Restoration is also happening in your identity. Where you were once labeled by failures or mistakes, heaven now calls you chosen, redeemed, and anointed. Where shame tried to silence you, boldness is rising. Where fear tried to paralyze you, courage is igniting. And where you thought you were disqualified, the Spirit of God declares you approved and appointed. This is why the atmosphere around you is shifting, because the very way you see yourself is being aligned with how heaven has always seen you. You are not simply a recipient of blessings, you are a carrier of divine inheritance, a steward of kingdom wealth, a vessel of supernatural authority. And as this realization grows in your spirit, the enemy loses every foothold he once had, for truth sets you free completely. The breakthrough is permanent, and the abundance being released is sustained not by human means but by divine decree. This means that even when storms arise, even when challenges come, you will not be shaken, because what has been given to you cannot be revoked, cannot be stolen, and cannot be diminished. You are entering into a covenant season where heaven itself guarantees provision, direction, and covering. As you move forward, expect acceleration. Things that once took years will unfold in months. What once required great struggle will come with ease, and places you could not reach will now open swiftly. This acceleration is proof of divine alignment, showing you that the season of delay has ended. And yet, be mindful, acceleration does not mean recklessness, it means stewardship with wisdom, for heaven is entrusting you with much, and you must walk with humility, gratitude, and discernment. Remember always that the inheritance is not for hoarding but for serving, not for selfish indulgence but for kingdom purpose. As you give, more will flow. As you bless others, you will be blessed. As you steward well, heaven will increase the measure entrusted to you. This is how the legacy will ripple across nations, across generations, across time, because what you are receiving is eternal. Beloved one, as the river of inheritance flows stronger, you must now learn how to walk in it with both confidence and reverence. For what is being entrusted to you is not casual but sacred, not temporary but eternal, not limited to earthly systems but rooted in divine law that cannot be broken. You are entering a season where abundance will manifest not only in provision but in wisdom, influence, creativity, and authority, and every aspect of your life will reflect the hand of heaven. This abundance will not come merely as material increase but as restoration of joy where sorrow once lingered, peace where turmoil once reigned, clarity where confusion clouded your vision, and strength where weakness sought to overtake you. You are stepping into a supernatural acceleration where years of loss will be recovered in moments, and what was taken from you will return with multiplied interest, proving that heaven never forgets and never withholds unjustly. Archangel Michael reminds you that the enemy fought so fiercely because he knew what was written about you, he knew the power of the inheritance sealed in your name, and he feared the breakthrough that would ripple through generations once you came into alignment with destiny. But his attempts have failed, for every snare is being broken, every chain shattered, and every accusation silenced by the authority of heaven's decree. Now you must lift your head high and walk in the confidence of one who has been chosen, not by man but by God himself. For this inheritance is not earned by effort but granted by grace. And as you walk in it, heaven will continue to send confirmations, doors opening without explanation, favor with those in authority, opportunities that align perfectly with your gifts, and divine connections that advance your calling. You will see divine orchestration at work, guiding you step by step, ensuring that you are always in the right place at the right time. Even the timing of your delays will now make sense, for you will see how every waiting season prepared you to handle what is now being released. Do not despise the small beginnings or the quiet moments, for they were the foundation of what is now becoming visible. You are entering a place where the glory of God will rest upon you so tangibly that others will sense it, and your very presence will shift atmospheres, carrying peace into chaos and light into darkness. This is the evidence that the inheritance is not just about what you receive but about what you carry, for you are now a vessel of divine destiny manifesting in the earth. Be aware that with great inheritance comes great stewardship, and the Spirit will guide you in how to handle the blessings without pride, without fear, and without waste. The temptation to misuse abundance will try to whisper, but wisdom will guard you, teaching you that your blessings are tools for greater impact, for building, for blessing, and for advancing the divine agenda assigned to you. Every resource you receive, every door that opens, every platform granted is not just about you but about the lives waiting on the other side of your obedience. And here lies the deeper truth. The inheritance is bigger than you, wider than your lifetime, stretching into future generations and unseen nations that will be touched by your faithfulness. You are a vessel of generational impact, and the choices you make now will echo beyond your years, shaping destinies yet unborn. The legacy you establish through this breakthrough will rewrite family narratives, restoring honor where there was shame, abundance where there was lack, faith where there was doubt, and light where there was darkness. Heaven rejoices because this moment was foreseen long ago, written in the eternal scrolls, guarded by angelic hosts, and released only when the appointed time had fully come. And now that it has, there is no force, no voice, no power that can reverse it. You must anchor yourself in faith, for the manifestation will not always appear in ways you expect. Sometimes it will be sudden and obvious, other times subtle and progressive, but in all forms it is sure and unstoppable. Expect the unexpected, for heaven delights in surprising its children, opening doors through unusual people, creating opportunities where none existed, and turning enemies into instruments of blessing. Be ready to move swiftly when prompted, for acceleration means windows of opportunity will not linger indefinitely. Stay sensitive to the voice of the Spirit, stay humble in the midst of honor, Stay generous when abundance flows, and stay steadfast when opposition rises again, for opposition may appear but it will no longer prevail. You are now walking in a covenant season where heaven's backing ensures victory in every battle. The breakthrough is not only for survival but for thriving, not just to lift you up but to position you to lift many others, not just to restore what you lost but to multiply it so that your influence expands. This is why the inheritance is called divine. It carries eternity within it, it cannot decay, it cannot run dry, it cannot be stolen. You are stepping into an endless flow, a wellspring that will continue to provide as long as you walk in alignment with divine order. And alignment is key. To stay aligned is to remain in gratitude, to guard your heart from pride, to listen attentively to divine instruction, and to act with courage when heaven directs. Remember always that this journey is not about proving yourself but about yielding to the one who called you, about letting the Spirit guide you where reason cannot, and about trusting that every step forward is leading into greater fulfillment of destiny. As you carry this inheritance, the fruits of it will become evident. Healing will flow through your words, peace will emanate from your presence, wisdom will mark your decisions, and favor will follow you in places where your name has never been spoken before. Nations will open, opportunities will rise, lives will be touched, and heaven will be glorified, all because you dared to believe, to endure, and to receive what was always yours. Lift your eyes to the horizon, beloved one, for the dawn has broken, the night has ended, and the time of inheritance is here in its fullness. Beloved one, as the circle of revelation draws to its fullness, the final message comes not only as a proclamation of what has been given but as wisdom for how to walk in it, sustain it, and multiply it. Inheritance without stewardship fades, but inheritance carried with reverence endures forever. And so the Spirit instructs you now to anchor yourself daily in divine alignment, for this is the key to sustaining the abundance that is flowing into your life. The truth is this: what you carry is not ordinary blessing but eternal wealth, peace that cannot be stolen, joy that cannot be shaken, wisdom that cannot be corrupted, and favor that cannot be reversed. And with this comes responsibility, for heaven does not release treasure into idle hands but into those who are willing to become channels, conduits through which blessings flow freely. To sustain this inheritance, you must remain rooted in humility, remembering always that every breakthrough, every door, every opportunity came not by human power but by divine decree. Humility will shield you from pride, and gratitude will keep the river of blessing flowing. Each day, awaken with thanksgiving, for gratitude opens the heavens and multiplies the blessings entrusted to you. Steward your words carefully, for the authority you now carry means your speech shapes atmospheres and influences outcomes. Where once your prayers felt weak, now your declarations carry weight. And where once you wondered if heaven heard you, now you will see prayers answered swiftly as evidence of divine partnership. Do not neglect discipline, for abundance without wisdom can be squandered, but with discipline, every blessing becomes seed for greater harvests. Sow generously into lives, into visions, into the needy, into the future, and you will see returns beyond imagination, because divine inheritance thrives when multiplied through generosity. Protect your mind and spirit from distraction, for though the enemy cannot steal what has been decreed, he will attempt to lure you into carelessness or fear, but Archangel Michael remains at your side, his sword of light guarding your path, ensuring that your inheritance is not diminished. Stay sensitive to divine whispers, for the Spirit will guide you daily into steps that preserve your destiny, whether through small nudges, quiet impressions, or undeniable signs that confirm your way. This is how you remain aligned, by walking in constant communion with heaven, by choosing obedience over convenience, by letting faith lead even when logic hesitates. And remember, the inheritance is not just for your lifetime, it is for generations. And so every act of faithfulness you choose becomes a seed planted into futures you will not live to see but which will bear fruit because of your obedience today. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of your choices, for your life is now a lighthouse, and others will draw courage and direction from your example. The restoration you carry will inspire others to believe for their own, the abundance flowing to you will empower others to rise, and the victories you walk in will become testimonies that break chains for countless souls still waiting for their appointed hour. Thus, you are not only a recipient but a distributor, a vessel through which divine inheritance flows into the earth. And as you release it, more will be entrusted to you, for heaven increases the portion of faithful stewards. Beloved one, you are now walking into the fullness of destiny, no longer bound by the past, no longer delayed by fear, but propelled by divine momentum into a future radiant with promise. The night has ended, the dawn is here. You will not look back with sorrow but forward with joy, for every promise withheld is now released, every prayer preserved is now answered, and every word written over your life is now unfolding. This is the season of harvest, of fulfillment, of overflow. Carry it well, for it is holy. And as you walk in this inheritance, remember to share the message, to release the testimony, to let others see and hear what heaven has done, for in your story lies the encouragement someone else needs to keep standing in their own battle. Beloved, this is not the end but the beginning of a new chapter filled with divine favor and eternal impact. Walk boldly, walk humbly, walk faithfully, and watch as the heavens continue to prove that nothing can stop a destiny sealed by God. And if this message has stirred your spirit, ignited hope, and confirmed the whispers you have been sensing, then I invite you to stay connected for more divine insight, encouragement, and revelation. On my YouTube channel, Archangel Inspire, we journey deeper into messages like this, words that awaken, strengthen, and equip you for the destiny ahead. Subscribe today, not just to follow content, but to remain aligned with a stream of inspiration designed to remind you of heaven's voice in your life. Let every notification be a confirmation that you are never alone, that guidance is near, and that your inheritance continues to unfold with clarity and power. Subscribe now, and let Archangel Inspire be a companion in your walk with destiny.